Iran have done it. Iran have done it. They have knocked out the favorites of the Asian Cup, Japan. Football is unreal. This is a team without Taremi. This is a team of Mohrami. And they did that Japan today. We're going to get to Japan and Moriyasu. My God, there's a lot of question marks. Itakura, a disaster class that should be in the Hall of Fame because it was horrific. And Iran, that second half performance, one for the ages. Let's run the intro and talk about this stunning game. I'm still in shock, people. I'm genuinely in shock because that first half, it wasn't good from either team. Very physical football, tackles flying in, Iran looking a bit too passive, Japan creating nothing, absolutely nothing. And then the only one who looked threatening in the attacking forward line for Japan was Morita, the midfielder, who gets the goal. It was a brilliant goal by Morita. But my God, I mean, Iran, in that first half at least, passive. God, they just looked like they were not cowards, but they just were like, oh, it's Japan, it's the heavyweight team. You know, they're the best team in Asia. We can't really go at them. Well, that's what happened in that first half. Once they conceded the goal, then Iran said, all right, let's start playing football. Then they started creating chances with Hodos and Jahanbash and all these guys. But Japan were not good today. Moriyasu, we're going to get to him in a second. Why on earth are you starting Maeda today? Why are you starting Maeda? What has this guy throughout this Asian Cup proven to you that he deserves to start? Obviously, Mitoma can't start because he's coming back from injury. But why Maeda? I did not understand that at all. But Ueda did nothing. Ritsu Doyan did nothing. Kubo, he had his moments, but not good enough. Then the second half might have been probably the best half of football I've seen Iran ever play. Physicality, winning the ball in Japan's half, and the way they were just moving the ball so direct. They just got that belief in the second half. Immediately, we're going to win this game. They just had a sort of, like I talked about in my previous predictions, there's a unity with this Iranian side. They look like they want to play for each other. They have a goal, and that is to win this Asian Cup for the first time in a long time. And once they got it, my God, were Iran amazing. And Hodos was unreal. I thought also Jahanbash was quite decent. I wish Osman would have done better. But the goal from Mohebi, who made the beautiful run, and then it was Osman who played the ball. It was brilliant. But Itakura, I don't know if I was watching Itakura or Harry Maguire, because Itakura today was by far the worst player on the field. He was horrendous. I was thinking to myself, it was about the 75th minute, 70th minute. I would have taken Itakura off. That's how bad he was. He was horrific, Itakura. Because all Iran did was play direct, boom. And the Japanese defense had no control. The midfield had no control of the game. And then it was just the Iranian show. It was the Iranian show from Ebrahimi, Ezouli. And then, of course, I thought Hodos was really good today. Hodos was just all over the front line, going out wide, delivering balls in. He was unreal. And then they got the penalty in the last. If you're Japan, don't make a stupid mistake. What did they do? Itakura decides not to hit the ball. Moriyasu, hesitant. He's like, oh, should I hit the ball? Should I hit it? Forgets it. And then I think it might have been Jahanbash who won the penalty. I can't remember now. I think it was Jahanbash who won the penalty. Itakura puts out a leg, and then Jahanbash, stone cold penalty. Wow. That was, with the pressure on, Jahanbash, absolutely phenomenal performance. And Iran have done it, people. That's why I only said That's why I only said 2-1 for Japan in my previous predictions. Because Iran have been a good team. They have had moments in this Asian Cup where, like the first half, passive, not really good football. Second half, that's the Iran we know. That's when they put everything on the line. They had everybody united for one goal, and that is to beat Japan. And they did it. They did it. And the funny part is, they didn't make any subs. The only time they made the subs was in the 98th minute to waste time. So shout out to Iran. I mean, Team Melli, it's just phenomenal. This, and I talked about it as well. This generation, they know this is their last chance. This is their last chance to win any silverware. And now they got a semifinal against either Qatar or Uzbekistan. I think Iran are favorites. They're going to get Taremi back. To think they did this without Taremi, who's their main guy, who has scored 3 goals in this tournament. Yeah, 3 goals in this tournament, is amazing. That just shows you the mental strength that this team has. The mental strength. And then the football they played in the second half was, they dominated. I mean, they just bullied Japan. It was men against boys out there in that second half. And Japan had no clue what to do. They had no clue. They didn't react. Moriyasu didn't react with subs. See, this is the problem. Now I'm going to get to Japan because this was... and we'll get back to Iran in a minute. I mean, Maeda, terrible. Itakura, terrible. I mean, Itakura. When Osmo scored that offside goal, I mean, Itakura might as well have retired there. He might as well have retired because he got sold. Absolutely sold. And how Ritsu Doyan played 98 minutes. 98 minutes is beyond me. If you're Moriyasu, you look at the game, right? The midfield was just getting absolutely overrun. The midfield was getting absolutely bullied. He should have just put another midfielder in there. He should have. Not Minamino. Minamino, this was not the game for him. It wasn't. Because clearly Japan were just getting backed up, getting bullied more and more and more. And Moriyasu didn't react. The players clearly didn't react. And I'm shocked by Endo, Tomiyasu, and these guys. Even though I think Tomiyasu had a good game, but they had to just calm down the game. They had to keep possession. Let Iran run for the ball. No. Japan just kept giving the ball to Iran, and Iran were just having quick counterattacks in that second half. So this was horrible from Japan. I mean, should Moriyasu go? Because this is now round of 16 against Croatia. I think he could have done a lot better. A little bit too passive in that game. Today, this is the opportunity for Japan to win their first Asian Cup since 2011. And they can't do it because of in-game management. I don't understand it from Moriyasu. I think he really fumbled the bag on this game. And there's going to be question marks on him. There's going to be question marks. So, and some of these players. I mean, Ritsu Doyan, Maeda, these guys should not, like, of course, if Mitoma is healthy, he's going to start. But Maeda was just horrendous. Offered nothing going forward. Nothing. Iran just locked them up and didn't give them nothing. Nothing. So there's going to be a lot of question marks about Japan because they were heavy favorites for this Asian Cup. They were playing great football last year. They didn't face a lot of adversity. The moment they have faced adversity and a team actually just bullied them, they crumbled. Iraq crumbled. This game crumbled. Once the momentum, you just saw Iran got the momentum. I think if it went to extra time, obviously Japan could regroup and sort some things out. Iran said, we're not allowing this to go to extra time. We're going to win the game right here. And they did it, Iran. They did it. Obviously, it was through a penalty, but just bad. Like we have talked about throughout this Asian Cup, Japan have been horrific from set pieces defensively. And that's what cost them their Asian Cup journey. They didn't react well, and it's just, unreal. When was the last time Iran had been in the final? Let me quickly check that, people. It's been a while. I've never seen it in my lifetime, if I'm not mistaken. Give me a second, people. I'm going to quickly check again. Where is it? There we go. So the last time Iran were in the final was 1976. Wow. 1976 was the last time Iran were in the final. Well, they have a fantastic opportunity here. Absolutely fantastic. And with the way they are playing and with just the spirit they have, I don't want to compare the two, but South Korea and Iran just they have that winning mentality and never die, right? We're going to fight till the end. We might not be playing the best football, but we're just going to take it to the other team. And Iran just showcased that today with their performance. Like I said, I thought Hodos was amazing and Jahanbash was really good. And I mean, shout out to Mohebi who got the goal really direct. Obviously, I was kind of surprised Gaedi started on the bench, but Mohebi, he definitely deserves a spot now. Definitely deserves a spot now. It's just it's Japan, man. It's just so frustrating because they have just been such a good team, but they didn't show up in this Asian Cup. The only good game where I'm like, wow, Japan actually looked good here. Everything was Bahrain, and they couldn't execute it today because Iran just took the game to them. Compared to Bahrain, Bahrain have nothing going forward. Iran, they have forwards that can actually threaten this Japanese defense. And the Japanese defense and midfielders had no clue what to do. And the combination play going forward was non existent. One, because of Iran's very good defending and late tackles and everything like that. I don't think there was a yellow card in this game, which I was shocked by. Also, I don't think there was two yellow cards to Itakura and Ueda. Wow. I mean, shout out to Iran, man. Shout out to Iran. What a game. Big up to Kurd Meran. What's a game? Iran destroyed Japan. Well, yeah. I mean, the second half you destroyed them. The first half, Iran were really passive. That second half was just all Iran. All Iran, all Team Melli. It was a Team Melli wave. And the Japanese could do nothing about it. And now Iran are 90 minutes away from a final. First time since 1976. And they got to be thinking to themselves, we're playing either Uzbekistan or Qatar. You have to feel confident. And we're getting Taremi back? Nah, you got to feel confident for Iran right now. You got to feel confident. I think they can win this now. It's just that when they got over this is the first time, by the way, people. First time ever Iran have beaten Japan in the Asian Cup. Ever. So that sort of mental strength that you get, building on the confidence, is what's going to make this side go from, bottling it in the semifinal, quarterfinals like Iran have in the last couple of decades to making it to the final, and then anything can happen in a final. Anything can happen. So Osmo, did he have his greatest game today? No, but he was lively and he did cause Itakura a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. And that's what you got to say if you are Iran. They have the firepower. They have the mentality. Defensively, they look stronger. I mean, Behravan, he should be doing better for the goal. That was horrific goalkeeping. Horrific goalkeeping. It was a decent shot by Morita. Behravan should be doing better. But yeah, there is a real possibility that Iran can do this. There is a real possibility. And if Mohebi can continue that form that he showed today, because he was really threatening, they're going to cause trouble to either Qatar or Uzbekistan. They're going to cause trouble to either one of them. No problem for Iran, huh? Yeah. Japan is the European Belgium. So, what do you think went wrong for Japan in this tournament, people? Do you think I just don't think any Asian team fears them. I don't. I think European teams and maybe South American or African teams, maybe they look at Japan and are like, these guys, good technical skill. They ain't all that. Asian teams are like, we want to beat you. We want to beat you. That is the main thing here. But defensively, they have not kept a clean sheet throughout this tournament. Japan have kept 0 clean sheets. 2 goals conceded versus Vietnam. 2 goals conceded to Iraq. 1 goal conceded to Indonesia. 1 goal conceded to Bahrain. And 2 today. That you cannot win an international tournament by outscoring the opponents. I haven't seen that for a long time in international football where some team just absolutely destroy every opponent. No, it doesn't happen like that. You have to have like today. I don't think Suzuki is at a fault for any of the goals. Usually, throughout this tournament, Suzuki has been a liability. Today, no, he wasn't a liability. But the defense and the midfield, wow, it's just there's going to be a lot of question marks about Japan now, and a lot of question marks about Moriyasu. With World Cup in 3 years, with the way Japan are going, actually 2 years, excuse me, with the way Japan are going with the talent they have, I think they need a new manager. I think they do. I think Moriyasu has shown good in the qualifiers, good in the group stage, but when the pressure is on to make a decision in game, any sort of tactical or substitutions, the guy cannot do it, Moriyasu. The Moriyasu can simply not do it. So they got to find maybe a new manager. And Itakura, I mean, it was horrendous. This is if you're a Liverpool fan, you saw the links with Itakura, yeah, stay far away because Itakura was bad. He was so bad today, so bad. But I don't think, and nobody can take this away from Iran. They fully deserve the victory. Iran in that second half, let me see if I can get stats here. Iran in that second half absolutely bullied. Look at this. 10 shots to 4, 3 shots on target, 1 shot, 3 corner kicks. I mean, how Osman was offside. I mean, the man is doing too many hip thrusts at the gym because it was basically, I think it was his hip, I think that was offside, or it might have been his shoulder. It was like this. It was so close. I don't think, I mean, it was pretty harsh of an offside, but he absolutely sold Itakura. The finish from Osman was amazing. And you just saw the Japanese defense didn't really know how to deal with the long balls down the wings. And that's their issue. That was their issue throughout this game, especially in the second half. And Iran fully deserved it. Iran fully deserved it. They were amazing. They were simply amazing. And I just like the way that they have sort of this mentality. All right, against Syria, first half was good. Second half, not that great. But they showed the mentality to get it to penalties and win there. Today, 1-0 down, not playing great at all. Passive. Second half, we're gonna raise the level. We're gonna punch Japan in the mouth, and we're gonna see how Japan reacts. And Japan said, "Yeah, we got a glass jaw like Conor McGregor." That's what Japan are. They're basically Conor McGregor when he gets punched in the mouth. So there's gonna be a lot of question marks, but I mean, the fact that now Iran are 90 minutes away from a final is amazing for them. And I think this generation deserve it. You know, they have so many talented players, like obviously Hodos and Jahanbash and Osman and Taremi, I think, is 31 years old. Razian. I mean, there's a lot of, I don't know, actually, what is the average age of this team? I think we can see it here. It's quite an old team. There's not a lot of young players on this Iranian team. Look, 30 years old, people. This is their last chance for this generation. This is their last chance. 30 years old. But they kind of showed that experience in big games. Whereas Japan looked a little bit like a high school team. Didn't really know how to make those in-game decisions. And yeah, I mean, Iran, fantastic. Fantastic. You know, they've had a lot of sort of big moments, but this is their biggest moment of, I would probably say, the 21st century when it comes to football. Because World Cup, they haven't made it to round of 16. Asian Cup, they haven't done anything. This might be their biggest win. Obviously, they beat Wales in the last World Cup. But this win might be the biggest one for Iran in the 21st century. Now, they're going to even have a bigger match in the semifinals, either against Qatar and Uzbekistan. And maybe we'll see them in the final. If we get a South Korea-Iran final, oh my God. That would be awesome as well, because they're kind of rivals, the two teams. Oh, that would be amazing to see. But yeah, people, let me know your thoughts in the chat. Remember to hit the like button, because this is a huge, huge domino effect of what's going to happen in this Asian Cup. What's going to happen? Because now, like, if you're South Korea and Iran, and you're Qatar, Uzbekistan, or Jordan, guys, the heavyweight is gone. The heavyweight is gone. So now every team got to think to themselves, Jordan, South Korea, they played each other. Jordan thinks to themselves, we can beat South Korea. South Korea, you're like, oh man, we could play Jordan, maybe Japan in the final. And then you're like, Iran, we beat them. We can beat Qatar and Uzbekistan. It's a fantastic opportunity for a lot of these teams. And South Korea haven't won since 50s or 50s, late 50s, early 60s. Iran haven't won since 1976. And then, what was it? Jordan have never won it. Obviously, Qatar, defending champions, and Uzbekistan have never won it. So we're going to get an interesting storyline for that final, I think. I think we're going to get a very interesting storyline. But we'll see who Iran play. Big up to Bobby says, I can't believe it. I'm so happy. Let's go Team LA. Bobby, if you're Iranian, congrats to you. Big up to Ali Reza, man. It's been a long time subscriber for the Michael Talks Football channel, and it is his day. Yeah, you see, us, we did not give even a single chance at that second half. No, exactly. I don't remember a chance that Japan had in the second half. I don't. I don't remember an opportunity where Beirovan had to make an amazing save. Where was this amazing save? The only half chance they had was Kubo. That's it. It was just Kubo. Yeah. It wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. Big up to Kaivon says they just got bullied and crumbled like Michael said. Yes, they did. Once Japan got hit in the mouth, they couldn't deal with it. They couldn't deal with the momentum. Momentum. Football, sometimes, people, you can have the better team on paper, right? But when a team has momentum and they start playing better football, and they just get the belief from the crowd, because obviously it was mostly an Iranian crowd, that spurs them on. And now they can really win this Asian Cup and then really win this game. And I think, wow, Iran fully deserve it because they were really good. Big up to Tom. So how you doing, buddy? But I got to admit, I really want to Korea-Japan final. I mean, I did as well, but I'm not really disappointed. I'm not disappointed because I want to see Iranian football do well as well. I think these players deserve a lot. Because this is their last chance. I'm going to show you again, people. They are 30 years old average age, this Iranian team. 30 years old average age. So if this is not their chance, I mean, do they want to go out on a wheelchair in the next Asian Cup? Because that's basically what's going to happen. This is the last chance for Taremi. And the last chance for a couple other players. Oh, yeah, they did play against each other in 1998. Oh, wow, that would be a storyline. But we're not going to get it carried away because there is still Jordan, and they can beat South Korea. They drew with them 2-2. And we'll see what happens between Uzbekistan and Qatar later today. We'll see about that. Yes, of course it was Tanli. Of course. That generation won an Asian Cup in 2011. They made it to round of 16 of a World Cup, just like this team. And, hey, I hyped this team too. The way they were playing football last year in 2023, destroying Canada, destroying Tunisia, destroying Germany. You could say what you want about those opponents, but the fact that Japan were destroying them, you're like, unbelievable. But the defense in this Asian Cup and the attack today was horrendous. So, yeah. Yep. I'm proud to be Iran and Iranian, but still needs a lot of handwork to win the semifinal. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. That'd be crazy. I thought. Big up to all the Iranians in the house. I'm happy. All YouTubers' predictions messed up. Yeah, mine is done. I had Japan in the final. I had Japan, South Korea in the final. I think I did have Iran in the semis. If I'm not no, I don't. No, definitely not because they would have won both their groups. But yeah, I mean, this is football sometimes, people. A team can have, especially international football, and that's why I love international football, because this brings these sort of storylines and unpredictability about it, where you look at Japan, you look at where the players play, you're like, easy favorites. But there's something about the will to win. And the will to win and the mentality, you cannot put that on a stat sheet. You can't. And that's what South Korea have. And that's what Iran have. They both have the mentality to never give up and win the game. That's what both of these teams have. They might not be, like South Korea have not played the best football. What do they have? Mentality. Did Iran play great today in the first half? No. But clearly something was said in that halftime, and they turned out to be like prime Germany. That's what they did. That's how Iran played in that second half. Prime Germany, and just absolutely bullied Japan. And I mean, that goal from Mohebi was not, I mean, the Osman's pass, the little chip over the defense, beautiful. I just wish that Osman goal would have stood, because that Osman goal, I would have had that on replay. The way he sold Itakura, the way he sold him. Oh. Korea is physically bigger than Japan, but just offensively worse than Japan, but they can go against Iran well. Who, South Korea? Yeah, I think South Korea can do well against Iran. But see, don't get carried away here, people. Don't get carried away. Everybody's getting carried away that, oh, we're going to see Japan South Korea final. Okay, fair enough. But Iran have other ideas. Maybe even Jordan have other ideas. And who knows? Maybe even Qatar and Uzbekistan have other ideas. Has this Asian Cup, and everybody who's, watches Asian football a lot, this is definitely the tournament where we're going to get a surprise. This is it. This is it. Like Qatar, obviously 2019, I think we saw in the group stage, I mean, they were destroying teams and they were looking good. Then they went on to win the Asian Cup. This might be the time, though. There's kind of like the signs and there's sort of the everything around it, right? Everything around it that is pushing towards either South Korea or Iran winning this. We'll find out. I mean, that would be a crazy final. Big up Michael Brown. Disappointed to see Australian to go out to South Korea yesterday, but they were the architects of their own downfall, missing a simple. Yeah. No. Australia screwed themselves over, bro. They should have won that game. They should have buried it. They should have buried it. Big up Aqua. Korea Iran final would be crazy. Oh yes, it would be. It would be. Big up Hussam. What's up, buddy? Michael, it's happening. Hussam. If we get a Jordan sort of Iran final, insanity. But the problem is, Hussam, and I'll probably do my semifinal predictions, Olawan is suspended. Although, I think Kim Min-jae is suspended as well, people. Am I correct? I think Kim Min-jae is suspended. That ain't good either. That ain't good because Altamari is going to be licking his lips like, oof. I think I can take on that South Korean defense. Is Endo coming home now? Yep. I don't think he's had... Endo had a good Asian Cup. Kubo, yeah, he was all right. I'm just so disappointed by Itakura. So disappointed. That guy was so... What was his rating on SofaScore? 6.1? Okay, I would have given him a 5.1. Because Itakura was the worst... Oh, he was the worst player on the field. Worst player. Ritsu Doyan throughout this Asian Cup, not good enough. Obviously, they wish they could have a fit Mitoma. Nope. Obviously, Daishi Kamada wasn't selected. I think for Moriyasu, he just didn't find the perfect attacking force. He didn't find it throughout. He was kept going with this player, trying to find the perfect balance. And Moriyasu just couldn't find the perfect attacking balance. And it cost him. That's football. Iran have clearly a system and they know what players play their role. Whereas with Japan, they got the defense sorted, sort of, I would say. Not really, maybe. Because Hiroki Ito at left back, see, this is where they need Nagatomo. Like, prime Nagatomo in this team, dangerous. They did, Tyler. They did. Every nation for a quarterfinal is strong. The difference is mentality. Exactly. It's all about mentality. Mentality. South Korea, did they get lucky against Australia? 100% they did. 100%. But they had the mentality to win that game still, even though they didn't play a great game. Today, Iran, terrible first half. Passive. Second half, they just said, we're going to win this game. And they showed it. Big up Hokage, bro. Waking up at 3:30 a.m. was worth it. Let's go, Iran. Damn. Shout out Hokage, bro. I bet you're happy, my guy. I bet you're happy. Yeah. I don't know, Lime Crystal. It's a bit too much to think about. How is Itakura playing in the Bundesliga when most of the Iraq and Iran defenders play better than him? I don't know. Because that Itakura was so bad. Itakura looked like a J League 2 player, not even J League 1. He looked like a J League 2 player today. With the way he got sold, then giving up the penalty like he did, where he missed the header, and then with the stupid slide tackle. Ay. No, they did. King. I have given a lot of credit to Iran during the stream so far. But what I am saying is Japan did not play a great game. And that's because Iran played fantastic as well. They both played fantastic. Well, Tom, we'll see. No, Hokage, bro, that was shocking from him. I mean, 5.1 on Soulful score, probably 3 out of 10, 2 out of 10. One of there. But the mere fact that Iran did this without Daremi and Moharami, who's got the ACL tear, it's like if like you're Iranian, you probably thought to yourself before the game, okay, you know what? We can give a great account of ourselves. If we lose 2-1, but we go out fighting, it's good enough compared to what it was in 2019 where Iran lost 3-0 to Japan in the semifinals. But to win it, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I watched it many times in the Bundesliga. Yeah, I'm shocked because Itakura in the Bundesliga is actually quite good. But what I saw today, the guy just physically could not deal with Osman or Horos. He couldn't deal with any of them. Couldn't deal with any of them. It was horrendous to see. Missing leadership. I don't think they're missing leadership, Tanli. I think you have to also look at Moriyasu. Moriyasu, with his in-game tactics and management, you could clearly tell Iran were dominating the midfield. And I already explained this earlier. They were dominating the midfield. And Moriyasu just looked there, smiling, writing on his paper. It's good. It's good. Okay, we keep going. Then later, 10 minutes later, I mean, the game just completely went to Iran. So you have to really look at Moriyasu, what he has done throughout this Asian Cup. I think he might have to go. I think so. He's shown you in the World Cup. Should have won that game against Croatia. It was there on a plate. They took the lead in the first half. They should have won that game. Obviously, Perisic with a ridiculous header. But it's just not good enough, man. It just isn't. It just isn't. This shows Japan is only good versus weaker teams, and they are mediocre against teams with similar calibers. Okay, Dancing Pig, we're not going to do this now, right? We're not going to do this. See, I think a lot of people got to give credit to Iran, right? Well, that's what we have to do. You have to give a lot of credit to Iran. But what we're not going to do is call Japan frauds. We're not. Japan have shown you in the past 2 World Cups, they keep on getting better, and they keep on getting better. But I think they're missing that manager and maybe sort of mentality within the team as well. Because do they want to win this Asian Cup? I kind of felt like at times I'm like, oh, yeah, they're out there. They got the talent, playing good football, but the mentality isn't within this team. I think those are sort of two characteristics that Japan are missing. Big up MA says, today Iran proved that if it attacks and does not defend, it can become a champion. Yeah, exactly. MA, that first half, Iran was so passive. What was this? What was the first half stats? I think Iran had like 29% ball possession, 41%. Wow, it didn't feel like it. I mean, Iran barely had the ball in that first half. Passive, just let Japan have the ball. Yeah, they defended well, except for the goal, because that was horrendous defending and goalkeeping. The second half, Iran played like champions. If they can play like that and bring in Daremi, they can win this. 100% they can win this. Yeah, I think they were soft too. They were soft. They were definitely soft. The Croatia game and fumbling the opportunity to break their World Cup history is why I don't consider that campaign a success. That's a bit harsh. Yeah, they're not going to fire him. I know. Do not like dramatic system changes. See, but this is the issue, Dancing Pig. If they don't make the switch, okay. All right, here, people. Wait. Let's do it like this, right? Let's do it like this. You put a 1 or put a 2 in the chat. Put a 1 if you think Moriyasu can be the manager to take Japan to the quarterfinals of a World Cup, because that would be history for them. Or put a 2 if you think they need a change. Because I just think to myself, they have to make a switch. They have to make a switch. They have to do something. These bottling of the World Cup round of 16s, losing in the final to Qatar, here losing to Iran, something has to switch now for Japan. It has to. They cannot keep going like this. They have too much of a talented team and the lack of mentality as well. So most people are going with they got to switch a manager. No, there we go then. See, there's your answer, people. There's your answer. But wow, what a win for Iran. This is, I don't know, obviously there's a lot of Iranians in the chat. Is this your biggest win in the 21st century? Because I think this is Iran's biggest win in the 21st century. Obviously, they beat Wales last World Cup, which was also really good. But to beat Japan, I think this is their biggest win of the 21st century. This is it. They finally beat, like, this is the first time Iran have ever beaten Japan in an Asian Cup. It's been 6 games, and finally Iran did it. And now, I think Iran have 7 wins, 6 draws, and it's 6 wins for Japan. That's it. So, big win for Iran. They're going to be very happy. They're going to be partying, but the job is not done. Just because you beat Japan does not mean you are now Asian Cup champions. You're still going to play Qatar, Uzbekistan, and you're still going to have to play either South Korea or Jordan. The job is not done. You can't get too overconfident, but it's looking good. It's looking good. If they can play like that second half, they can become champions of Asia. But everybody, I got to head out. We're going to be back here at 7 o'clock for the watch-along of Mali and Ivory Coast. So join me for that. And, of course, I'll probably get it out tomorrow. Is the semifinal predictions of the Asian Cup. We got one semifinal already confirmed. And in 50 minutes starts Qatar and Uzbekistan, so I need to watch the game. But join me for the watch-along of the AFCON. Remember to hit the like button on your way out. We got 126 of you watching, and we only have 52 likes. You're performing like Moriyasu and his in-game management. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Stay tuned for the semifinal predictions of the Asian Cup. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. And wow, Iran, congrats to them. Adios, everybody.